hit
Is that your
record.
is that your hand?
Yeah.
It's a hand.
All right, so I hit record. Let me pull up my PowerPoint. And I'm going to refer to the PowerPoint, but at times back out to show other things. Come on. All righty, so this is covering up my print. Oh, usually lets me move that. Oh, there we go. So this is the workshop that I've put together for my Capstone project on my research dealing with online communal worship. And that's covering up. So when I began this project, no way of doing this without covering up the word, is there? Let me move it over here. So when I began this project, this was the main goal, the objective of the project was to assist small to medium-sized congregations with limited resources, with helping them to provide communal and relational online worship services. And I defined small to medium-sized congregations as what I've been working with either First Christian or Zion, churches with 100 or less average worship attendance. And communal and relational I defined as an interactive connection to the pastor and other members of the church felt when viewing the service that would feel comparable to an actual in-person service. And of course, an online worship service will be defined as a virtual meeting place where elements of in-person worship are presented in a virtual way to the congregate participating. I made all these definitions for this research project mainly because a lot of people have different types of ideas about how to define these things, and I wanted to, because research is about measurability, trying to have a way of measuring or getting an idea of what I talk about when I talk about relational and communal or online worship, because it's a phenomenon that seems to be experienced in so many different facets to it. To narrow down the project. So objectives I had were I would be experimenting with delivering the different methods of online services to the congregation, mostly Zion, using Facebook Live, Filmora 9 editing software program for pre-recorded services, and also YouTube, streaming live on YouTube as well. Which I've learned throughout the semester, which is actually pretty simple. It's very similar to Facebook Live. And Zoom, what we're doing now and kind of what Zion has transitioned into doing fairly regularly. Another thing was I would compare and contrast the effectiveness of these different online worship methods by tracking viewership numbers and conducting a survey of the viewers, asking viewers which method of delivering services do they feel or experience as communal and relational. I would conduct individual interviews with a diverse group of viewers to receive feedback from them on what worship methods are the most relational and interactive for them. Jim, you were one of my interviewers.
Sure.
Participated in that along with Brian and Kimmy and Bill. And then basically conclude by recommending what I think are the best methods for churches of our size to produce services like this in the most effective and inexpensive kind of way, and then present that as I'm doing now with this what I hope is this 1 hour. That should be hour. I put house. Obviously, I was thinking about the prison at work when I put one house instead of 1 hour. Zoom
The
workshop.
big house.
Yeah, where I will point out the results of this project in addition to a hands-on guide of how online services can be produced with limited resources. This PowerPoint basically function is the online guide, and I'm going to record this, and the how-to stuff that I'm going to go through, people can use this in the recording that I will share. So now I thought I'd go through kind of what we're looking at here as far as what the formats of these look like. Let me move the box somewhere where people can actually see. That's not gonna work. Okay, that at least doesn't cut off the face. Okay. So you're able to see this PowerPoint and everything, right, Jim? I'm assuming you are. You would have said something by now.
Correct.
Okay. This is basically where we all began, which was basically just clicking the Facebook Live button. It's just me by myself in the backyard, or I could be anywhere. And I'm basically just doing the service with cell phone camera and just me going live on Facebook. Nobody else is included. It's just me. So this is kind of where a lot of churches began when the pandemic began and we were trying to figure out what to do. So I'll just play a little bit of clip to show you what that method looks like. Let me know if you can't hear. Hopefully I shared the sound too. Can you hear that?
I see
Hang
it, but
on.
no sound yet.
Let me go. I bet I forgot to hit that button about sharing sound. Okay, share computer sound. I don't know. I want to try that too. The video thumbnails are minimized, optimized full screen. Okay. You still there, Jim?
Yeah.
I see what that function does. The problem with that is iPhone, right? It cuts off your box. I still want to be able to see you. I just don't want it to cover up the. This will be good practice for, I've got to do like a presentation at the end of the semester when I'm done with my paper too.
Really?
Alrighty. So this,
Is that Bill Graham on there, or is that you?
that's me.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's kind of a cloudy day.
Oh,
That was Pentecost.
it would have been back in May then.
Yeah, so you should be able to, let me know if you can't hear the sound.
We are an open and affirming congregation. You can now, if the children want to respond to that, they can
Can you hear that?
message. And offer
Yeah.
all people, even upon my slaves, both men, was forbidden.
Okay, so we kind of get the idea. That's basically just Facebook Live, me outside, nobody else is included. It's just me with a cell phone camera going on Facebook Live, doing as much of the service as I can by myself. So that was one method where all began. Okay, and this is a sample of what I was able to use with the Filmora editing program, putting together a pre-recorded service. And this service, you can include more people, put in pictures, sound, music, and I'll show you kind of an example of one of those I did. Oop. Sorry about that.
Stage 4.
Okay.
More at 8.
We keep both of these
So
people
we
in our
have
prayers.
Bill there
They
doing
are
the scripture
only used
reading.
for paying the tax,
At the dinner table,
which are religion
doing the
and
sermon.
politics.
To love others.
It's a loose, isn't it? Bill Loose.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
your face.
So obviously, during
Taxes,
Filmora, you can
Caesar.
include more people,
Pretzel prayer, please.
The separation
edit together,
at the dinner table.
and then, like this right here, you know, I can put in photos, background music for starting, you know, different shots around the church. And so that's kind of a lot of the different things I can do with Filmora 9 doing a pre-recorded service, which would go out. It would all be pre-recorded ahead of time, but it would be streamed live on either Facebook and YouTube. You could do both, or just one or the other. So that's the method. The other option for doing an online service is this pre-recorded option that is streamed out live. And then there is the Zoom live service, and this is what it looks like.
We're small in numbers this morning.
We are.
Well,
Yes, I do. First of all, welcome to All Saints Day, our service. And I will announce. Stephanie asked me to announce that.
So you have the announcements,
to respond to
and
the
we're all
survey that's
actually
in the
gathered
messenger.
together,
It
and we
concerns
pop up
getting your
boxes.
feedback.
there's
Oh,
Laura.
excellent.
Numbers this morning.
We are. It's being made for Lux.
Box on the bottom of your screen. And everyone responds.
In the
Okay, that's a good show. So basically, I basically do a PowerPoint. I could have a recording, whatever I share during the worship service. But the one thing is we're actually going live, meeting with each other on the Zoom as we are now. You know, whatever I'm sharing is there, and the attendees are there. And that's basically how Zoom worship would go. And we're all interacting. I did communion that day, so you can see in my box the bread and the candle and the chalice. That was All Saints Day. So that's the Zoom live service.
We're small in numbers this morning.
Okay, now I need to go back out, and before I go through the survey results, show you the survey. So basically, to kind of get an idea of where everybody was at, I used a program, a survey program on Facebook, off of Facebook. And why am I scrolling out? Actually, let me just do this. I had to copy and paste it. It let me use some of the graphs, but the program makes you have to buy it in order to get a lot of stuff exported, and I didn't want to spend the $100 on it. Okay, so basically the survey was right here under Zion Church, and basically it was open to anybody at Zion or anybody online who had viewed our services, because I figured you should probably get the input of viewers in general more than just church members, because with it being online, it's going to be open to a whole lot more people than just your individual church anyway. So this was the survey that everybody answered automatically. Obviously, it goes through kind of the basic part of what I was talking about as far as definitions. And it was 4 basic questions. You could see all this fine, right, Jim?
Right.
Okay. So it's 4 basic questions. Does the format of a pre-recorded service streamed as live on either Facebook Live or YouTube provide a worship space that is communal, relational, and interactive? Yes and no. Did you feel that the pre-recorded service was in any way comparable to an in-person worship service? And then with Zoom, does the format of a live service through Zoom provide a worship space that is communal, relational, interactive? Yes or no? And then did you feel that the Zoom service was in any way comparable to an in-person service? And while we're here, I'll kind of show you some of the results of that survey that kind of gave me an idea of where people are at as far as viewing services online. Let me move this over here. Go back under survey. Okay, so looking at results. So the total of people I had that responded to this survey was almost 30. There were 28 answers. So this kind of gives you the breakdown. The first question was 18 yes, 10 no. Second question was 9 yes, 19 no. Third question was 19 yes, 9 no. And the fourth question was 15 yes, 13 no. And then I've got a chart here. Let's go back to this here and go to, let me download this part. Okay. This mouth is like invisible. Okay. So, and this breaks it down as far as percentages. So the first one was, does the format of a pre-recorded service streamed as live on either Facebook Live or YouTube provide a worship space that is communal, relational, and interactive? So with the pre-recorded service, 64.3% of that 30 said yes. So they still see a relation that is a medium that can be relational. 35.7 said no. And then the second one, did you feel like you were able to participate in the pre-recorded service in a way comparable to an in-person worship service? 32.1% said yes, 67.9% said no. So basically what they're telling me that is the pre-recorded service they feel is a type of relational medium, but a majority still feels that it is not really comparable to an in-person worship service, but that it has potential. That's kind of how I read that data. The third one, does the format of a live service through Zoom provide a worship space that is communal, relational, and interactive? 67.9% said yes. 32.1% said no. And then, did you feel like you were able to participate in the live Zoom service in a way comparable to an in-person worship service? Part of my numbers are cut off by the box. So 53.6% said yes, 46.4% said no. So according to these numbers, the Zoom worship service for this group does seem to have a little bit more potential of being comparable to an in-person service. Although out of the other three, that's pretty close, closer than the others, 53% to 46%. Okay. I think I'll go ahead and go through all of the different slides on the numbers and that, and then I'll go through the how-to stuff in the second part. So
Okay.
part of the paper, more than just the research, is deals with what are the theological implications. Church by its very makeup has a very strong relational and communal sense about it due to the two primary doctrines of the Trinity, which is an idea of a communion, that we were all relational beings modeled after God in his image, and the incarnation, that God has been made known to us through a human person. And so personhood, interrelationality is just really a necessity for finding a way to make the church. It's an attribute of church that's very hard to not have if the church is going to be successful. And kind of up until before the pandemic, a lot of people had really looked at this medium of worship as that's what's wrong with it. There's no sense of community, it's individualistic. What really matters is what's in person. But then, we look at Zoom and, we can actually see each other, talk back and forth. So is it possible that that objection is not really very well based? Because just because something is in person doesn't mean that this format doesn't provide a similar way of being relational and communal. And this is a way of trying to help services to have that same comparable feeling that it needs to have in order to be the church. Having to move. Okay, so kind of what I've learned, the advantages and disadvantages of pre-recorded service. First, with just the very basic way of doing the service with just me and the camera, and it's just me, is you're not, in that format, you're not able to really include other people in very much. It's just me talking. And so that's the main thing. You're not able to include people very much. And then also, we found that with Facebook, especially with Facebook Live, that because everybody's internet connections are different, that the service could be choppy or freeze up or hard to see at one time based on somebody's internet connection. And so there was a lot of internet problems with Facebook Live, and the quality of the picture and it just was not very good. Now with the Filmora edited version, which is all filmed ahead of time and then uploaded to be live streamed, you don't have to worry about what's going on with the internet connection, whereas with live you do. But with that, you could include more people, you could include music, you could include pictures, you could include text, all kinds of things to make the service look more rich as to, just me talking. Some of the ways that the pre-recorded service, especially with Filmora, some of the ways that it can be relational is the chat feature, which Brian uses a lot, and it kind of depends on how comfortable you are with it, passing the piece by way of the Facebook chat. and just talking back and forth through one another through the Facebook chat. So that's a relational feature. One that we haven't used yet, but that Pastor Brandon Robertson's used and we've used in Central Seminary is have everybody break out into groups and discuss whatever the sermon's about into breakout groups. That's another way that gets people into dialogue and helps things to be relational. So that's the pre-recorded service, advantages and disadvantages. The live service through Zoom, advantages are we could actually see each other. There's different icons. You can raise your hand if you've got a question, the icon that you've discovered. We could actually see each other, talk back and forth to one another. Pre-recorded still can be integrated. I can share any pre-recorded video I have or anything on my laptop like I'm doing right now. We're talking back and forth to one another live. We can at least see each other visually. So those are advantages of that. Some of the disadvantages are that because of the security issues, you have to have the link to get into it. So sometimes that is not as free flowing as the Facebook Live or YouTube Live, where anybody that's on the web can chime in, and anybody on the web can chime in and view your service. So it's very open, and Zoom can be restrictive in that way because you have to have the link. Yeah. Kind of some of my conclusions are that as of right now, and it's still ongoing, is that both mediums have some good potential and are have a relational component to them. And it may depend on the community as to which one's better than the other one. One of the benefits, and a lot of it might be the size of the church. What's this person? Give me 1 second. Hello? Hey, I'm in a sorry about that. I couldn't really first it was my cell phone, and then he was trying to talk to me through chat. Okay, so where was I? One of the benefits is, well, problems with Zoom. It's very good with smaller churches, but if you have a bigger church with 50 or 100 people, it can be a lot more harder to manage congregation on Zoom rather than if you had a church of 12 or 20. So that's a difficulty, and because not everybody can talk at once, that can be difficult. So I think both of them have are relational and have a way of being communal. It really just depends on the makeup of the congregation as to which one will be more beneficial for them. So let me stop the share. That was the PowerPoint. And so I think that, and both of these can be done in fairly inexpensive ways. a basic Zoom package you can get for a year for about $100, which is what I did. And that's unlimited. And basically all I do is put together a PowerPoint, if you're familiar with PowerPoint, and you can put in videos or whatever you want to share on the PowerPoint. Now with Filmora, I'm going to go into kind of some of the how-tos of what I do when I put together a pre-recorded service. Okay, can you see that all right?
10-4.
Okay. So this is where I began on Filmora with putting together a service. This is the editing room. So to upload, as you see, I have already about every video I've uploaded or picture I've done when I put together a video is in here. So how I do that, first I upload it from wherever the video is coming onto my computer. And then once it's on my computer, I can go into, okay, so I go to import media. Let's say I want to import a media file. This is where I have all of stuff saved for church services and things like that. So let's say I want to put in our interview we did. So I click on that because I have that saved in a folder. So, okay, I want to put this on the screen. So I hit this plus button. And that's our interview ad right there on the screen. So if I kind of want to just look at it.
All right, we are recording.
So that was our interview.
Oh,
So let's say, okay, so there's several different features here. Let's say I want to put in a text. So I pull up this text function, or I want to make a title for the interview. So I want to use this one. The text shows up in that little box down there. So I want to begin like this. So I double click and let's see whatever I want to call this. Let's call it Online Church with Jim Jeffers.
oh,
Okay, so I'm going to call it that. So now I go back to the beginning. Now I'm going to play it now. Let me put it on full screen. So I just edited in the text. You still there?
yep.
My screen went blank. You can see this right here, right?
Yeah, I can see you, but I can't see the. There it is. I see it now.
Well, I tried to make it full screen, but when I do that, it goes away. Let me see if, come on.
All right,
Can you
we
see
are
that?
recording.
Yep.
I am here with Jim Jeffers, who is one of the church elders at First Christian Church, a lay member.
So basically, you kind of saw how I edited in the text, which is kind of neat. So I open it with
All right, we are recording.
Online Church
I
with
am
Jim
here
Jeffers.
with Jim Jeffers.
So that's how I edit in a text.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, let me go ahead and delete that and start something new. So there's different.
You can go ahead and do your.
Huh?
You could go ahead and do tomorrow's service if you wanted to.
Oh well, it's live on Zoom.
Oh, Oh, okay.
It's not pre-recorded.
Oh, gonna say that you could have gone ahead and done it, I guess. And showed us how you did it. That's okay. You're showing us.
So that's how you edit a text. Let me go. Oh, credits. There's different things you can put in here. Subtitles, special occasions. The countdown stuff. Okay, so let me go back to when I traditionally start the service. Let me show you how I do music. And it saves all the videos, pictures. So, okay, so I'll have that. And then I'm going to put in text. Well, I already showed you how I do a text. Let me show you how I put in music. Some media. Let me find that video of the opening of the church. Be the drive-by. Oh, there we go. I usually have to edit pieces of this out too. Let me go show you how I edit stuff out. Let me delete that. And I think what I do is I start with, that's the entrance. Okay, I think I do start with that. So, you see, normally there's the drive-by and then the Zion entrance. Put in there twice. Okay, so when I put in music, I go to music. Some of these you have to pay for. The one I use a lot is this one called Drift Pages. It's free. So I just click on that and the music shows up right there towards the bottom. So when I click play, you'll hear the music in the background. You hear that?
Yep. Cool.
Now, usually you don't see that part when I show, because that's usually the opener I use for a lot of the last pre-recorded service. But usually you don't see that because I edit it out. Now let me show you how I do that. So this section here, I usually don't need because it's early in the drive-by. I think it's about there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to right click here and go to split. And then it just, that chunk there that I don't need, delete, and I just edited that out. So it'll start right here. And then if I just put in the music, drift page. Actually some of that needs to be edited out too. But anyway, you get the idea. And then, of course, the text. I can pick whatever text I want. Our wedding day. I don't know why I picked that one, but okay, so I put Zion UCC, our wedding day. Play. It comes up like that. So music in the background, the different cuts, and then one thing I just learned, I haven't had a chance to, is transitions. And these are like, let's use this one, is like a merge when it goes from scene to scene. So that's a transition. That kind of weird. I'm trying to think. There's a fade transition. Okay, so this one's called drop. Here's a different kind of transition you can use. I don't know if I like that transition.
Where's that the view? Is that the view of the? Where's that view there?
That's on the block
kind of-
before you get to Zion.
The block west or south?
I think it would be, that's coming in, I think, by the YWCA.
Yeah, I see it now. Now I kind of.
Together down on Francis Street. Then they got bought out by a conservative gentleman. All right, what do you want me to do? Go right.
I really filmed too much. About there is where I actually start. I edit the rest of that stuff out. I'm trying to find the transition I started using. Was it Flash? There's all kinds of transitions. No, I don't like that
Wow, it just blew up.
one. Oh, maybe it's the fade. Okay,
Oh.
so this is like the fade transition.
Is that the sound for you?
Yeah, that's background sound. At some point,
Maybe a
I'll
car just went by.
edit that out. Usually the music drowns it out. I thought that fade was actually a turning. Oh, it's just a fade. What's flash then?
Yeah, it looks like something from Benny Hill or something.
Trying to find. Okay, maybe this is the one I
Monty
use.
Python hour.
So here's another transition. Oh, there we go. That one's kind of neat. Let's see what this one looks like. I had one. Oh, maybe it's this one. Turn.
If you don't come to church, this is what's going to happen to you.
Oh, did you see that? It kind of turns the screen as it goes into a different.
Wow.
So there's different transitions you can use. There's the text, how I upload the media, the music. Some of it you have to pay for. That one's free, so I use it a lot. Different designs for the text, the transitions. What's the butterfly? See what it looks like. Oh, that's trippy.
That's the implosion.
Maybe it's.
That's what's going to happen if people don't start ending up or tying up. If they don't start bringing their ties in, you're going to hear that implosion noise.
Cross merge. Wonder what that one looks like. Oh, that's cool. That's a cross merge.
That's kind of neat. That's cool.
Oh, there's dissolve. I wonder what that looks like. Doorway. Okay, I think that's the one I was starting to play with. Oh, there we go. Erase slide. What's that? And there's the fade. Yeah, transitions are kind of fun.
Yeah.
Try this one. Let me see if I can open up. And it saves all your projects. No, I don't want to save that. That was just practice. Oh, okay. This is one I started to do when I broke my phone. This was kind of the opening of it. See, there's the text. Donate. See, that's a transition I use.
Pretty good there.
I forget what that one's called. That's the one I was experimenting a lot with. Where the kind of door opens and then you get a new picture.
That's pretty neat.
Text. You can get the words to come up in different spots too. That was a fade. There's another one where it's got the yeah, I was going to use this as the opener for the All Saints Day service before I broke my phone. I was adding new stuff to it.
You can almost see the Saints there, flying up through the church.
I forget what that transition was called, where it opens like that. I was playing around with that.
Or was that the butterfly?
No. Push. No, that's not it. Roll. that's kind of the basics of how I've been doing all this. Once you get all the videos together, it's not too bad.
Pretty good. Good that you've come this far with it.
Yeah.
At least you'll be prepared if you go into a church, you have to do it.
Maybe it's turn. Is that the one where it's... Oh, there we go. No, that's right. It's like a box opening. That's wind. Yeah, well, so... Oh, there's some on here I didn't even realize were here. Falling leaves. It's kind of like opens like a box. What was it called? Morph? Oh, that one. This kind of dissolves. Horizontal shutter? Is that it? I'll figure it out. So those are the different transitions, the texts, how to edit, how to put in texts. Maybe it's that one. Okay, so that's basically Filmora. Probably spent way too much time on that.
I think it's kind of, I kind of like that one better than the rest of them in a way.
Yeah.
So
So
what?
I just want to show real quick how I upload this stuff onto how I do a live service on Facebook and YouTube real quick, and then we can chat or have discussion. Where did Facebook go? You cannot minimize Zoom when you're recording. What? Okay, here we go. So this was the survey. It was 28 people, and that kind of breaks down where everybody stood as far as that. Oh, and with Filmora, I got the basic Filmora package for around $100, and that was for a year. So it's really, you could get a higher grade one, but the basic package, the stuff I've been doing, same thing Brian's doing, is fairly inexpensive. You just got to learn how to use it. Once you get all the, putting it all together is really not that bad. It's just getting videos, and then I video a lot of people at Zion because they're aren't as familiar. So I just go to Zion and video them, and it's already on my phone, so I can easily send it to my computer, save it on there, and then everything on my computer at some point or another I could put into Filmora. Okay, let me go to Zion's page and show you. This is the part about the pre-recorded service that is a bit harder, especially if you're going to schedule it and run it. I think ours has been average about 20-30 minutes, is that it takes so long to get it to upload. I could spend most of the day getting it to upload. So I'm going to go into publishing tools. Initially, they had an OBS program where you could live stream it from Facebook, but you actually had to manually click it. You do it this way, you can schedule it, it'll automatically run. You don't have to worry about things going down. Once it's uploaded, it's uploaded. Oh, I didn't get a chance to talk about the numbers on this. It's hard to identify because with these, it'll say you've reached 82 people and it'll go into how many people clicked on it, but that could be people from other churches crossing over and watching it. And even though the numbers do go up, it's hard to identify who those people are that are just tuning in to watch your service. So I have no scheduled posts. So what I want to do is schedule one. So I'm going to create. You can see all this okay, right?
Yeah, I have up to now anyway.
Uh,
There's been some, outside things that have been kind of hard to see outside of the borders.
well, I'm not doing something right here. Okay, so I am going to schedule a post. Oh, scheduled posts. Let me back out of this. Okay, so what I need to do is go into resources and tools. No, that ain't right. Oh, duh. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, so I'm going to create a post. So let me put in one of the services we've had before. So it's going to open up saved services that I've had on my computer. See my last pre-recorded service was at.
It went from the bagpipes.
Oh,
That was probably Mitzi, wasn't it? Was that the one?
oh yeah, she had the story about the starfish. Yeah,
Wasn't that the same one?
yeah, I believe so. Where is, okay, so this is the last pre-recorded service I did. So this is going to come up when I upload it. It's kind of slow. And so this is me putting the service in here. So I'm going to put Zion UCC service at Zion, something like that. So when I do this, it's going to upload and all of that. I don't know if I could show you the rest without it fully uploading or not. Okay, here we go. Instead of publish now, I'm going to schedule this. And so if I want to premiere this, actually, I'm going to premiere it, not schedule it. I'm going to premiere this. Now, the premiere option means it's going to stream on their Facebook page automatically on a certain date. So, okay, I'm going to pick tomorrow. And it's going to go to 10:30 a.m. And so, and I could put an image on there of whatever I want. Let's say, let's say I use the All Saints Day image. And so I click that premiere button and it's going to upload. This is the part that takes forever because right now it's at 0.2%. This says it will upload in, well, it's 21 minutes. So basically I have to wait for it to completely upload. And then when it does, you can't see the kind of that publish button there. I click
Yeah.
that and it'll publish and go on there. So that's how I put a video on Facebook to stream live at a certain time and place, even though it's all done at a different time. So now going over to YouTube, this is my YouTube channel. And actually that one came out with your picture on the front there, Jim.
It's like a mug shot out of camera.
So, and pretty much I found I might get some views on YouTube, but for the most part, most of the views I get are all from Facebook. So I could do the same thing with YouTube by going over to this button here. That's just basically to upload a video, but I want to go live. So I hit that go live button. I'm not actually going to go live, but I'm going to premiere a video that's going to stream live at a certain time and place, but it's already recorded. Like that's the last one I did, was that service there. I had to stream them at different times because for whatever reason, YouTube didn't have an option for 10:30. So one service streamed at 10:30 and the other one streamed at 10:45. So I hit the stream button. Oops, that's not right. Let me back out of this. Come on. Okay, so I want to create, maybe it's upload, that's how I upload a video. And uploading a video can be just as long as Facebook. I drop the video in there. But in order to go live, I think I have to go to this. Okay, here it is. I want to schedule a stream. So I hit that. And so I'll have to make something up. So Zion UCC, and I'll just put in church service. I can upload some sort of picture. So when I share it, people can say, oh, look at that. He's going to have a stream. Okay, so there's the picture. And yes, it's made for kids. All my stuff is made for kids. So, oh, okay. So I'm going to make this, I'm going to schedule this for tomorrow. And then I'll show you the problem I came into because they didn't have an option on here for 10:30. Oh, 10:30 shows up on there now. When I did it last time, I had to do 10:40. That's weird. Maybe they fixed that problem.
And 30 it is.
Real,
Oh,
so I go down here. And I can't see because this bar is in the way. I believe that button there is going to prepare it. You're offline, check your connection. Oh crap. Warren, the internet's down. You still there, Jim?
Yeah, you're back.
It's still recording. My internet went down.
Oh,
I'm getting tired of it. Okay, so that's
is that
basically
United Fiber out there?
no.
Is that United?
We need to have United Fiber. We have CenturyLink. It usually
Oh.
has not been too good, but it goes through these little spurts where it'll go down for a minute or so and then come back up again.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's basically the how to do the online, how to upload the services on YouTube, Facebook, and Filmora, and kind of where I've been with my research. And so that's my capstone project.
That's pretty good, really.
Yep.
Now, when you talk about a live stream,
Let's go ahead and stop.
uh,